Hi, this is Tish Aitken, and I am doing a weekly check-in. It is Tuesday, November 23rd, 2021, and if you haven't noticed, we had a very, very powerful lunar eclipse that occurred on November 19th at 27 degrees and 14 minutes of the fixed Earth sign of Taurus. And this was the longest eclipse since February 18th of 1440, and the longest eclipse in 1,000 years. And it was 3 hours and 28 minutes. And there I witnessed in so many different ways from friends and clients, so many endings and so much loss. In some cases, people experienced a lot of loss. And I think realistically, while we are still in, we're not in Scorpio season any longer because the sun is now in the mutable fire sign of Sagittarius, where it'll be until the winter solstice on December 21st. But when this eclipse occurred, we were in Scorpio season. The sun, Mercury, and Mars were all transiting in Scorpio, which is a sign of death and regeneration, a sign of loss and elimination, and a sign of healing and transformation. But we've dealt with so much loss. Pluto was the key player during the Epoch of Capricorn when all the structures changed in our lives. And in some cases they ended altogether, and in some cases they are morphing in this new time. And in January, the nodes of fate are going to change signs, and the North Node is going to enter the fixed Earth sign of Taurus, and the South Node is going to enter the fixed water sign of Scorpio. And it's going to, I think, bring to the forefront the fact that we need to release our fears in terms of healing ourselves. And that's an easy thing to say and not an easy thing to do. It's been really very hectic energy. When you are in eclipse season, and eclipses occur every 6 months, there's a harried and hectic tone, and so much can happen in a short period of time, and things can get brought to light that we had absolutely no idea about. And eclipses can be like wild cards. You know that if you know your time of birth, you know where the eclipse falls. If it's hitting a planet in your chart, you could be really busy. You could have something very significant happen. The nodes of fate are 18 degrees of the new moon eclipse or the full moon eclipse. So there's always a fated component. And in the upcoming eclipse we're going to have on December 3rd or December 4th, depending on what time zone you're in, that's going to be a total solar eclipse, and very fated events, fated meetings, fated portals opening in your life, fated departures. There has been a lot of loss. The full moon is culmination and release, and that one was huge. And again, I did and experience and see so much loss occurring within about a week or so leading up to that eclipse, and certainly the week of the eclipse. And we're all still reeling from that. It's hard to discern, in my opinion, when we are experiencing eclipses because they always come within 2 weeks of one another, whether we're feeling the upcoming energy of the next eclipse or still reconciling the past eclipse. And I think that we are doing both. We're still definitely processing this really, really emotional and intense lunar eclipse. And I have been having a lot of trouble focusing on getting things done because, again, just like in the month of August, there was very Uranian energy. There were 3 planets transiting in the fixed fire sign of Leo, and they were all forming oppositions to Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius, which is the planet of brilliance and chaos and is ruled by Uranus in modern astrology. and they were also all sparring with Uranus in the fixed earth sign of Taurus, which can be very stubborn. And now we're in Scorpio, or we've been in Scorpio season, and during this eclipse time, a lot of planets were squaring Saturn and Jupiter and opposing Uranus, bringing a lot of enlightenment and chaos, changes in plans, and a lot of different twists and turns, but also just eclipses themselves replicate or seem very similar to Uranian energy. The revelatory part, finding things out, raising consciousness, but also the really jarring and unpredictable tone of eclipses. And that's what we're all working with right now. And I was writing an article for a magazine a friend asked me to write, and it took me probably 3 times the amount of time and probably a few more weeks than it normally would take, because I just couldn't sit still and focus. And now I am scrambling to do the videos for December, and I will get them done. I am insistent and gonna do it. But again, this eclipse energy has you in so many different, has us all in so many different ways and just directions. And so it is hard to get things done, and yet there's a sense of that you have to get it done, because Jupiter is only going to be in Aquarius a little while longer. It's going to leave on December 28th, and it's going to enter the sign of Pisces. We've got Venus about to retrograde on December 19th. It entered the cardinal earth sign of Capricorn on November 5th. It will remain in that sign until March 6th of 2022, but it's going to retrograde from December 19th at 20 degrees and 29 minutes of Capricorn, and it will station direct on January 29th at 11 degrees and 4 minutes of Capricorn, leaves altogether on March 6th, but we're also going to have Mercury transiting in Capricorn starting the middle of December. It exits on January 2nd, but then it's going to retrograde in Aquarius in the middle of January and re-enter the late degrees of Capricorn. So in the first couple of months, we're working with Mercury transiting both in Aquarius and in Capricorn, encapsulating this whole time we've all been in. We were in the epic of Capricorn when Saturn was there, and then it met up with Pluto for that legendary conjunction that changed the structures of the world. But we're also now in the new age of Aquarius, when Saturn and Jupiter met closer in the sky than they had for over 800 years at the first degree of the fixed air sign of Aquarius, which is a sign of change and of the future and of community and enlightenment. And it's not a sign of, I wouldn't pick it as like spokesman for or spokeswoman for chamomile tea or for CBDs, but I would say thrive in the chaos and in the innovation. Try to focus. I will too. And I'm signing out. Thanks.